The Senate will come to order. Mr. Carpenter, please call the roll.
Senators Bridges, Cook, Coram, Court, Crowder, Danielson, Donovan, Finberg, Fields, Foote, Gardner, Janal, Gonzalez, Hill.
Excused.
Heisey, Holbert.
Excused.
Lee. Lundeen. Marble. Moreno. Pedersen. Priola. Rankin. Rodriguez. Scott. Smallwood. Smallwood.
Excused.
Sonnenberg. Story. Tate. Todd. Williams. Winter. Woodward. Zenzinger. Mr. President.
Here.
Okay, because it's
With 32 present, 0 absent, 3 excused, we have a quorum. Senator Janal, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you, Mr. President. Members and guests, please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the Journal. Senator Foote.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the reading of the Journal of Wednesday, March 6, 2019 be dispensed with, and that the Journal be approved as corrected by the Secretary.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. Committee reports.
March 6, 2019, Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs, Advocacy, Service, and Marriage Committee is following. House Bill 1108 be postponed indefinitely.
Senate Services.
Correctly printed, Senate Resolution 4, correctly re-engrossed, Senate Bill 78-138, correctly revised, House Bill 1105, correctly revised, House Bill 1114.
Message from the House.
House is passed on third reading and transmitted over the statutes. House Bill 1201, 1209. House is passed on third reading and transmitted over the statutes. House Bill 1108, or 1180, 1166, 1150. Minutes printed in the House Journal March 5th, 2019. The House is passed on third reading and returns herewith. Senate Bills 925. The House is passed on third reading and transmitted over the statutes. Senate Bill 4935, 46. Minutes printed in the House Journal March 5th, 2019. The House is adopted on the first report of the First Conference Committee on Senate Bill 128 is printed in the House Journal March 4th, 2019. As repassed the bill, so amended the bill is returned herewith.
Message from the Reviser.
We herewith transmit without comment House Bill 1201 and 1209 without comment as amended. House Bill 1150, 1166, and 1180 without comment as amended. Senate Bill 35, 46, and 49.
Committee reports.
March 6, 2019, Committee on Health and Human Services. After consideration of the merits, committee recommends following. Senate Bill 146 be referred favorably to Committee on Finance. March 6, 2019, Committee on Health and Human Services. After consideration of the merits, committee recommends following. Senate Bill 145 be referred favorably to Committee on Finance. March 6, 2019, Committee on Health and Human Services. After consideration of the merits, committee recommends following. Senate Bill 164 be amended as follows. As amended be referred to Committee on Appropriations with a favorable recommendation. March 6, 2019, the Committee on Business, Labor, and Technology has had in consideration and hearing on the following appointments. Recommends appointments to be placed in the consent calendar confirmed. Members of the Board of Real Estate Appraisers for terms expiring July 1st, 2021. Patrice Suzanne Campbell, SRA of Grand Junction, Colorado, serves as a real estate appraiser with expertise in eminent domain matters. Appointed Joshua H. Wallet, SRA, MNAACDEI of Grand Junction, Colorado, serves as representative of appraisal management companies. Appointed Matthew J. Salazar, Centennial, Colorado, serves as representative of commercial banking. Appointed March 6, 2019, Committee on Business, Labor, and Technology. After consideration of marriage committee following. Senate Bill 142 be amended as follows. As so amended be referred to Committee on Appropriations with a favorable recommendation. March 6, 2019, Committee on Judiciary. After consideration of marriage committee following. Senate Bill 182 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation.
Introduction of bills.
Senate Bill 187 by Senators Lee and Gardner concerning commissions on judicial performance.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1004 by Representative Robertson, Catlin, Senator Donovan concerning a proposal for implementing a competitive state option for more affordable health care coverage in Colorado in connection therewith, requesting authorization to use existing federal money for the proposed state option and taking other actions toward the implementation of the state option and making appropriation.
Health and Human Services.
House Bill 1131 by Representatives Hikes Lewis and Senator Winter concerning requirements to the wholesale acquisition cost of a drug when sharing information concerning the drug with another party.
Health and Human Services.
House Bill 1150 by Representative Tony Senator Danielson concerning the Recreation and the Consumer Insurance Council as an advisory body of the Commissioner of Insurance.
Health and Human Services.
House Bill 1153 by Representatives McCluskey and Wilson, Senators Donovan and Rankin concerning measures to enable local district colleges to serve more students.
Education.
House Bill 1166 by Representatives Singer and Larson and Senator Zinzinger concerning name-based criminal history record checks and in connection therewith requiring certain persons and entities to submit to a name-based criminal history record check as a condition of employment, appointment, registration, licensure, or certification.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1177 by Representatives Sullivan and Garnett, Senators Cord and Pedersen concerning creation of an extreme risk protection order and in connection therewith making an appropriation.
State Veterans and Military Affairs.
House Bill 1180 by Representative Geithner and Senators Gardner and Lee concerning the clarification of the definition of police working horse for the purposes of cruelty to animals.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1201 by Representatives Kip and Wilson and Senator Quorum concerning the ability of a Board of Education of a school district to meet in executive session to discuss the district strategy and conducting negotiations relating to certain employment-related agreements.
Education.
House Bill 1209 by Representative Froelich and Valdez A. and Senator Bridges concerning repealing aeronautical reporting requirements.
Business, Labor, and Technology. Third reading of bills. Final passage. Mr. Carpenter, would you please read the title to House Bill 1105?
House Bill 1105 by Representative Michael Insane, Senators Marble and Winter concerning the ability of advanced practice nurses with prescriptive authority to obtain Level 1 accreditation under Workers' Compensation Act of Colorado.
Senator Marble.
Thank you, Mr. President. We move House Bill 1105 on third reading and final passage and ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1105? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the passage of House Bill 1105 on third reading and final passage. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 32 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 3 excused, House Bill 1105 is passed. Co-sponsors: Senators Crowder, Bridges, Janal, Court, Moreno, Heisey, Woodward, Tate, Cook, Priola, Sonnenberg, Gardner, Scott, Story, Todd, Lundin, Rankin. Quorum. Please add the president. General order, second reading of bills. Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of general orders, second reading of bills.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The motion is adopted, and the Senate will resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of general orders, second reading of bills, and Senator Bridges will take the chair.
The committee will come to order and the court rule is relaxed. Will the clerk please read the title of House Bill 1083?
House Bill 1083 by Representatives Hooten and Van Winkle and Senators Williams and Cook concerning reclassification of the regulation of athletic trainers from registration to licensure.
Senator Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, we move House Bill 19-1083 on general orders and second reading of bills.
To the bill. Senator
Thank
Williams.
you, Mr. Chair. Members, this is a piece of legislation that will move our athletic trainers from registered to licensed. They all are educated and trained professionals and are often first responders for our athletes. And this is not only for our professional athletes, it's a lot of our kids who are out on the soccer fields playing soccer from high school to college to JUCO, all the way up to those who play professional sports in schools and clubs. We do have a federal legislation that has received the endorsement of the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic committees. And we also want to make sure that that this aligns with a federal act that was passed on the athletic trainer's licensure. And so I ask you for an aye vote.
Senator Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The thing about this bill, all we're doing in the bill is changing one word throughout the bill, and it's going from registered to licensed. And they need that to go across state lines, so they need their liability coverage to follow them from Colorado to wherever they might be playing. It applies all the way down from the college level to the professional level. If you're automatically right now registered, you will automatically become licensed. There's no increase in fees. There's no increase in government. It's just changing that word from registered to license. And so they need this bill. Our Broncos, our Nuggets, our Rockies, CU needs the bill, their trainer, so, and CSU too, and UNC, and all the other ones. So I would ask for an aye vote to support our teams.
Is there any further discussion or lists of sports teams that would like to be made?
Are there any worth mentioning?
Senator
Vote
Crowder,
yes anyway.
you have a sports team you'd like to mention. Senator Crowder.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Under no circumstances does this change into their scope of practice, does it?
Senator Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for that question. It does not change any of the scope. And actually, to register as an athletic trainer, they have to graduate a baccalaureate degree, complete their athletic training program, and pass a competency exam, and this does not change the requirements to be qualified as an athletic trainer.
Senator Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was just chastised for not mentioning a professional hockey team here in the state of Colorado. What's their name? Oh, yeah, the Avalanche.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1083. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. That bill is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of House Bill 1148?
House Bill 1148 by Representative Harrod and Senators Quorum and Gonzalez concerning changing the maximum jail sentence for certain crimes from 1 year to 364
Senator
days.
Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 1148 on second orders, general order, second reading of bills.
To the bill.
For an aye vote. Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 1148 simply reduces the maximum potential sentence for a second-degree misdemeanor and municipal offense from 1 year, 365 days, down to 364 days.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1148. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. That bill is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of House Bill 1172?
House Bill 1172 by Representative Weissman and Senators Gardner and Cook concerning an organizational recodification of Title 12 of the Colorado Revised Statutes in connection therewith, limiting substantive changes to those that conform similar provisions to achieve uniformly, eliminate redundancy, or allow for the consolidation of common provisions, or that eliminate provisions that are archaic or obsolete.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 1172 lay over until tomorrow, Friday, March 8th.
Is there any objection? Seeing none, the bill will be laid over until tomorrow. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
The motion before the committee is to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee will rise and report. It's the best.
The Senate will come back to order. Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has met and had a number of bills under consideration. Will the clerk please read the report?
Mr. President, committee will lead reports that in consideration of the following text bills being the second reading thereof makes the following recommendation on House Bill 1083, House Bill 1148, passed on second reading order, revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1172 laid over until 3/8/19, retaining its place on the calendar.
Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption of the report.
You have heard the motion. The motion is for the adoption of the committee of the whole report. Are there any no votes? Mr. Carpenter, prior to this vote, will you please add Senator Hill and Senator Holbert to the roll call? The motion is the adoption of the committee of the whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, and 1 excuse, the committee of the whole report is adopted. House Bill 1083, House Bill 1148, passed on second reading and ordered, revised, and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1172, laid over until 3/8/2019, and retaining its place on the calendar. Conference Committee to report.
First report on First Conference Committee on Senate Bill 128 to the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Your First Conference Committee appointed on Senate Bill 128 concerning adjustments to appropriations in the 2018-19 fiscal year for state share of total program funding for school finance in connection therewith making and reducing appropriations is met in reports that is agreed upon the following. One, that the House received from its amendments made to the bill as the amendments appear in the revised bill. Two, that under the authority granted to the committee to consider matters not at issue between the two houses, the following amendments be recommended. Respectfully submitted, Senate Committee Senators Moreno, Rankin, and Zenzinger. House Committee Representatives Hansen, Escar, and Ransom.
Delivery to the Governor.
To the Governor for signature on Friday, March 1st, 2019, 11:30 a.m. Senate Bill 24 to the Governor for signature on Wednesday, March 6, 2019 at 10:25 a.m. Senate Bill 42.
Message from the Governor.
February 27, 2019, the Honorable Colorado Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to powers conferred by the Constitutional laws of the State of Colorado, I have the honor to designate points submitted to consideration the following members of the Board of Trustees for Colorado Mesa University for terms expiring December 31st, 2022. Daniel Anthony Lee Ramos of Denver, Colorado, a Democrat appointed. Kaisa Azwanowick McLeod of Denver, Colorado, Democrat appointed. Amy Lentz of Grand Junction, Colorado, an affiliated member appointed. February 20th, 2019, the Honorable Colorado Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to powers conferred.
Message from the Governor.
February 27th, 2019, to the Honorable Colorado Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to the powers conferred upon by the Constitutional laws of the State of Colorado, I have the honor to designate points submitted to consideration of the following. Members of the Board of Trustees for Colorado Mesa University for terms expiring December 31st, 2022. Daniel Anthony Lee Ramos of Denver, Colorado, a Democrat appointed. Kasia Azwanowick McLeod of Denver, Colorado, a Democrat appointed. Anthony Lentz of Grand Junction, Colorado, an unaffiliated member appointed. Sincerely, Jared Polis, Governor.
Education.
February 28th, 2019, to the Honorable Colorado Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to powers conferred upon the Constitutional laws of the State of Colorado, I have the honor to designate appoint reappointments submitted to consideration of the following members of the Colorado Commission on Higher Education for term expiring July 1st, 2019. Stephanie F. Donner of Denver, Colorado, a resident of the 1st Congressional District and a Democrat occasioned by the resignation of John L. Anderson of Durango, Colorado, appointed for term expiring July 1st, 2022. Partis Madivi, Ph.D. of Denver, Colorado, resident of the 1st Congressional District and Democrat appointed. Venetia B. Kerr of Aurora, Colorado, resident of the 6th Congressional District and Democrat reappointed. Sincerely, Jared Polis, Governor.
Education. Mr. Carpenter, please add Senator Smallwood to the roll call. Committee reports.
March 6, 2019, Committee on Education, after consideration, Mayor's Committee as following. House Bill 1137, be referred to Committee to hold a favorable recommendation. Recommendation be placed on the consent calendar.
Announcements. Senator Donovan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Friends, we have Ag Council today at lunch, and the topic of today is going to be water issues you need to know about. I think what is exciting about this particular committee or this meeting that certainly senators and your aides are invited to is that we will have the South Platte, the Colorado River District, as well as the Front Range Water Council there to chat about water. We don't often get statewide water perspectives, so this should be very interesting. It will be starting at noon up in 352. And again, I would love if some of you could join us who don't traditionally engage in agricultural issues. The Ag Council made a very difficult decision this year to move their meetings to lunchtime in order for more people to be able to participate. And so if you can join us today, it would certainly be an interesting one that has statewide impact. Thank you.
Senator Todd.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, colleagues. How many of you woke up this morning in a nice warm home? We all did. That doesn't just happen. It happens because of Xcel Energy and making sure that we have good, warm homes in our houses. And we have guests in our chamber this morning from Xcel Energy. Some of you might have joined them this morning for breakfast, and so want to just say thank you to them for being with us this morning. Second of all, I want to recognize guests that we have from California today. Edgar Ruiz, who is the Executive Director for Council of State Governments West Region, and Rich Lindsay. They will be joining and welcoming members to lunch today. I know many of you have gone to CSG West conferences, and it will be in Montana this July. So come and find out a little bit more about Council of State Governments, and we are delighted to have you with us today. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Senator Zenzinger.
Just my final announcement about Senate appropriations tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. So we'll be at LSBB 7:30 a.m. tomorrow.
Senator Fields.
Good morning, Mr. President and members. The Senate Health and Human Services Committee will be meeting today at 1:30. We are changing the order of the bill lineup. We will hear first Senate Bill 19052. And then that will be followed by House Bill 191010, and then the rest of the bills will be heard. Thank you.
Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is your friendly reminder to RSVP for the Colorado Association of Realtors Affordable Housing Tour, which is this Friday, March 8th at 12:30 p.m. The tour will be at First and we'll try and make it friendlier, Senator. The tour will be at First and Broadway, and lunch will be provided. We'll be touring a construction site, so dress accordingly. If you have already RSVP'd, you will receive an email today with details. If you have any questions or would like to RSVP, contact Cameron Hill at chill@coloradorealtors.com. I'm sure that stands for C Hill, but again, the email address is chill@coloradorealtors.com. Thank you.
Senator Court.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm not so funny. Finance Committee, people interested in Finance Committee, listen up. We will be hearing Senate Bill 181 in our regular room, room 357. Let's start at 10. Remember, anyone who wants to come testify that we are discussing fiscal issues only. The state's fiscal note, the impact on the state. That is 181 at 10 o'clock in room 357. Thank you.
Senator Janot.
Thank you, Mr. President. And today, the optometrists are here. Day at the Capitol. But tonight, the Colorado Optometric Association has a legislative reception, and it will be from 5:30 to 7 at the Warwick Hotel, and they would love to see you there. Thanks.
Senator Priol.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, Cancer Caucus is meeting today over lunch, First Baptist Church. Hope you all can join us.
Seeing no further announcements, Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, there should be a flyer on your desk by now. It looks something like this, but it is photocopied, so it's not green. There is a training coming up that will cover the most recent ways that the criminals out there are trying to get into your email and your computer and do basically it's a training on cybersecurity and best practices and things like that. It will teach you how to recognize and prevent attacks on your data and your online presence. And there are 5 different sessions available starting tomorrow through March 20th. The first session, again, is tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the House Committee room 107. So check that out. And with that, Mr. President, I move the Senate recess until 2 o'clock today.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the Senate will stand in recess until 1400 today.